Welcome to our honor series of the Citi Business Festival 2026. I am Ni Latte. This program is powered by 97.3 Citi FM and Channel 1 Television in partnership with Absa Bank. Our sponsors are Absa Bank, MTN, Zonda Ghana Limited, and Petra Trust. Our conversation for today is digital transformation for small and medium-sized enterprises. If you are listening to us on radio, you are listening to 97.3 Citi FM, relevant radio always. If you are watching us on television, this is Channel 1 TV. Welcome.
You need a bigger space to grow your business. You need to be ready for any season.
You need faster checkouts for these busy days.
You need more equipment to meet demand.
You need to make sure everyone gets paid on time.
In business, we need advice, solutions, and sector expertise when it matters.
Your new office space looks great. What's next?
We get it. Absa Business Banking.
Looking for power, performance, or pure driving comfort? Looking for strength for your business or style for your lifestyle? Welcome to Zonda Ghana Limited, your one-stop automobile shop. From heavy-duty trucks built with global powerhouse Sinotrack to premium SUVs and pickups from Great Wall Motors and Cherry. From light-duty commercial trucks to world-class construction equipment from Shantui and Sunny Group, Zonda delivers topmost quality brands with affordable luxury. Zonda gives you power, prestige, and performance all in one place. Strong, reliable, affordable. Zonda Ghana Limited, drive the future. Call Zonda on 050-177-2222 or 050-177-3333.
Welcome again. Today we are really discussing how technology is changing the way businesses operate and also what affordable solutions are within reach for medium-sized enterprises. And this I'm doing with the Chief Marketing and Operations Officer at Npontu Technologies, Deborah Asmah. Madam Deborah, welcome. Good to have you here on 97.3 Citi FM and Channel 1 Television.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here.
This week we are looking at innovation, technology, and the future of work. And we are having this conversation with small and medium-sized enterprises in mind. We can even add the micro businesses. So let me broaden it a bit and make it MSMEs, micro, small, and medium-sized enterprises. And so if any of these businesses, they are listening to us and we see digital technology, what does it mean to them and why does it matter?
I think usually when we start the conversation about digital technology, people think huge capex, huge investments, and big tools, complex devices, and things. But it's really your simple stuff. So if I look at the categories we are speaking to, it's solving a problem with a digital tool. So I'm using the tool again to define what it means. So let's take a simple problem of receiving money. And you run a business, and usually you would have people bring you cash to your shop or to your office or to your, any place of your business, and now you are using mobile money. You have gone through a digital transformation. So when you ask the question about what it means to use any digital tool, you're looking at picking a specific problem or a specific need, identifying a right tool that can solve that specific need, and it doesn't have to be complicated or complex.
I see. So it's neither a huge capital expenditure nor big tools.
No.
Just using simple tools to solve everyday problems
Yes.
as a business.
Yes.
So if many businesses are worrying that technology is expensive, you think that's a myth?
You have to rephrase the question. If you're thinking tech is expensive, the question I would ask is, what problem is currently expensive for you? Because if you consider it in that angle, you wouldn't be too focused on the tool. I think people think tech is expensive because their focus is on the tool rather than on the solution you're trying to implement. So if you go back to the example I mentioned about mobile money, how expensive is it to use mobile money to receive your payments? What you need is a SIM, and probably a merchant SIM at that. So it's not expensive. I think I would answer your question specifically by saying it's a myth. It's a mentality shift we need.
So you just have to weigh the benefits against the cost of the tool you are deploying.
Exactly. What is the issue you're trying to solve? And let's identify that issue and look at if it's not possible to have a free or a cheap tool to solve that. Most of it we get being wrote into the tools that we hear other people are using, and we think, hey, it's going to be expensive. That's how we usually work.
Maybe the question I should put to you again should be that, what if an SME is running a limited budget, for example?
What is a limited budget? So if you take the Momo example, what is a limited budget here? It's a SIM. I don't know the cost of a SIM card now, but I sure know it's not as expensive as we started off with in the past. Probably 20 CDs or 10 CDs. So if you're having an issue where you cannot account for your finances coming in, you think that there's always a shortfall in your revenue at the end of the day because you're not keeping track and you're doing cash on the table all the time, you are losing more money than it would cost you to buy a merchant SIM. Do you get what I'm saying? So what is the expense? You're not tracking your inventory because everything is on paper. People go into the shop and pack things. I watched a video on Instagram recently where the woman was crying because the boxes that she thought had items in it had been packed with paper. And so the question is, how are you keeping track of your inventory? Are you sending the shop attendant to go count the inventory and come reports to you of the inventory? How much would it have cost you to have put in a very simple tool, for example, Kedeba inventory, to have run your inventory and have access to it? Do you get what I'm saying?
Yes, you've mentioned two examples, inventory and then also payment. Will you say they are the first when it comes to the easiest way of digitalizing any business?
When you ask a technologist which one is the first, it's a full plate to think of. But I think that there are probably 3 or 4 key areas for every business,
Mention
right?
them.
There is the reaching out to your customers or managing your customer engagement, because every business has a client one way or the other. Then you have your receiving your monies and keeping track of your monies, your expense and your inflows. Then you probably want to look at your managing your funds itself. So you have received it. How do you manage it? Where is it going to? Then you have most people having some level of inventory. It could be inventory that is very fluid and keeps going and coming out, or it could be very stable inventory. So if you ask me which one is the easiest, I'll look at these areas that people would usually do in whatever business there is. So your invoicing, your receipting, your collection of payments and expenses, your customer engagement, then you'll have your normal operations. Everything else is your normal operations.
So first, how you reach your customers, that's customer engagement, and also receiving what comes in and then what goes out, more or less like cash flow. And then after you've done that, how do you even manage them? And then also inventory. But do these work for both formal and informal businesses?
I think so. Let's take an example of any informal business, probably the person in Makola or Kantamanto. They're doing all these. Some of these people might have people who come to them different times and different days coming to buy something, but they have their loyal customers that sometimes when they get stock, they inform them about. So they keep in touch with these customers. These customers send them requests of whether you have replenished your stock or not. These women have stock, and so that is their inventory. And they are expending money and they are receiving money. That is their cash flow, going out, and you have your expenses and you have their normal operations. They go and buy things, they pack it somewhere, they have someone who helps them and all that. It would always be the same. It's just the uniqueness of it that would vary depending on the sector. If you go to a formal business, it's the same thing. They reach out to their clients. Their clients bring complaints. They have to resolve those complaints. They keep track of all these customer engagement. They send out receipts or invoice. They receive funds. They expend funds. They buy light, they pay for water bill. So all these expenses remain the same. Then you have your normal operations, what time people come in, what time they leave, who is running what, who is cleaning what. So I think the functions remain the same, whether it's formal or informal.
Interesting. So the technology you talk about runs through from production to consumption.
Well, I believe so.
So if I'm asking you to name the current digital tools that are available for small businesses, what would they be? Let's start from the basic ones.
Okay. Every business now, or I dare say 90% or 99% of businesses now on WhatsApp. WhatsApp is a digital tool for customer communication and engagement, right? Most people now would wait for the customer to send them an engagement. They would then make themselves available to respond to those engagements. And it's usually around that places that you realize gaps exist. So if you have WhatsApp, which most businesses do now, what we tell our clients or people we engage with is that in these days where digital advancements have taken place, you can scale up on the WhatsApp. So everybody's talking about AI. I'm sure if I meet a 5-year-old right now, they would mention AI, whether they understand it or not. But what you can do with your basic WhatsApp business engagement is now have an AI agent. And please, it's not as complicated as it sounds. So if you take a business like Npontu, what we'll do with our customers is that you have your business, you have repetitive feedback and customer engagement that you have stored on your WhatsApp, and you know what people usually come to ask you about. You would train your AI on these responses. And because you can stay awake throughout the night to come and respond to a customer like me, who because I sleep at 1 a.m., I think everybody else sleeps at 1 to send you a question. Your AI agent becomes your replica, quote unquote, to respond to the common questions that people come to ask, and can even go and check your inventory to see if you have stock. That is, if you sell something, and respond to it. These are simple tools that are in your pocket. The only thing we have done is to put a leverage on top of it to make it more optimized for you. Okay. Then you have your accounting tools. Okay. There are basic accounting tools that is out there. You can just go to Play Store. Most people have their Play Store and smartphone, but they do a lot of social media engagement. Go download an accounting tool. There are accounting tools like QuickBooks, Tally, there's Kedeba ERP that has a version for inventory and sales. You do that and you use that to generate invoices and, send out receipts. So you can just manage the money's coming in and the money's going out, So there are basic tools out there people can use.
I see. Sounds very complicated, but you say it isn't.
No,
I don't know what the business out there is also thinking about. But
it's not.
First, having your social media platform for engagement, you cited, WhatsApp. I don't know if it's the original WhatsApp or WhatsApp business. It works for both, right?
It works for both.
Okay. And also you can get your AI assistant that's a replica, not necessarily replacing you.
Exactly.
As
supporting and making you more efficient.
I see. And then also your accounting tools where you can go on Play Store, the basic accounting, what is coming in, what is going out, the totals and what have you. Well, many thanks, Deborah, for laying that particular foundation for us, making us understand how digital tools can also help businesses create that immediate business value. But this is still our honor series of the Citi Business Festival 2026. We are talking about innovation, technology, and the future of work. Deborah Asmah is the Chief Marketing and Operations Officer at Npontu Technologies. We are taking a short break. When we come back, we'll be talking about the 4 thematic areas that she's really outlined. That is operations, customer engagement, sales, and financial management. And specifically, she's going to practicalize how digital transformation plays out in all of these areas. Stay with us.
Still, Misaka, and Namu was a summer brabo, and it can afford swab
Misaka pensions, Carol.
Misaka order sika.
Misaka
insurance.
Misaka loan.
Momo fogusuri ye echumaden dia boye nyina ye sika ho ban se NTN ana momo jumaye ni be frewa or the 0244 300,000 ene be frew na numpo orin bitsaw one time password ana se upin code enti wonso ye wa femu die na ma weni na ho na wonsa enka momo.
You're welcome back, and then thank you so much for staying with us here on our honor series of the Citi Business Festival 2026. I am Ni Latte. Deborah, let's continue from where we left off. Now, help us really identify the right technology for specific business needs. And I'm giving you 4 because in your remarks, you've actually laid out the foundation for all of these areas: operations, customer engagement, sales, and financial management. I want you to take us to the classroom, or if you like, the boardroom. A business has come to you for consultation, advice, and what have you. Let's take them one after the other. So how do we use digital technology or tools to improve operations? What's the blueprint?
Operations is a big thing. When you list the finance, customer experience, and all that, they still would feed back into operations. Right. So operations is really huge. But if I want to narrow it down, where I would go to is your ability to meet your set SLAs or service level agreements or your set plans. Let me put that for operations so we don't have to look at all the things.
Indeed.
So if you say, for example, in your business or in your engagement with your clients, anytime somebody sends me a request, I want to be able to respond within a certain time. That becomes an operational function within your business. And you have other angles. So you are not the one probably going to do the response, or you are going to be the one to do the response. If you are not, then you have to bring people along with you on that set function to be able to deliver that expectation. So how do you do that? You can't just say it and then walk away. If it's a big organization, they would have tools like a customer resource manager that they would use. So for example, if I'm speaking with a client, I would ask them if they have any tool that they are using to collect customer information so they can monitor or measure whether they are delivering per the set function. If they don't, then now we advise them on setting up a tool. And in this case, I'll give them a Kedaba CRM and teach them how to use it. Let them put their SLA, so the service level agreement. So if I want to respond to you in 5 minutes, I will put it in it. So if a customer sends a communication, I will check if we are responding in 5 minutes. If we are not, then we want to ask why and deal with it. But it can also become too manual if you want to take it and then go and do with that. So this is where I'm going to mix the operations with customer engagement. So I spoke about WhatsApp. Currently in Npontu, this is what we do. We have set WhatsApp as an automated agent for our operational functions. Anytime someone sends us a mail, so we have designated emails that are public emails that we want to collect information to. When the mail comes in, it beeps on my WhatsApp in my alert mail and it feeds into my CRM.
So everything is happening in real time.
Everything is happening in real time. So I see that the mail has come through because I see the alert. when a customer sends a request on any of our channels, I see now that it has come through because it sends me an alert. And it's sending the alert with the time that has been allocated to the type of feedback. And the agent gives you a key of a summary of action points. So it says that respond to this customer who sounds agitated with a calm feedback and probably give them what they are looking for. So the summary has already been done for the person who is working on it.
See.
So when I take my phone and I'm doing an audit, I'm not coming to ask you, did you respond to the client or you did not? Usually what I'll do is I'll go check the CRM if it is there. And I'll check to see if you did a report on the CRM. And if you come and say, oh, no, this one didn't come now, just go in the alert. But you are part of the alerts. Did you not see the alerts? So what I have done now, I have looked at what my pain point was. My pain point was to be able to take away the human function, where I am reliant on the person to tell me whether a customer complaint came in or not. And because I have an operational target that I want to respond to all my emails or questions within this time, I have used a tool that is within our backyard. So I talked about WhatsApp, and I have elevated the WhatsApp from just a normal chat, status to an AI-enabled WhatsApp. And I have paired it with my CRM to be able to give me an optimized output. Okay. So operational efficiency is enhanced in this regard. And I've meshed the operations and customer experience to be able to give you, this. But even with the customer experience, there is something we call sentiment analysis. So let's go to the foundation.
Tell me about it.
Everybody is calling you on your phone. Usually what we do is that when our clients call our reps, we go and ask them, what did they say? Were they happy? And if I am the one the customer is mad about, of course, I'm not going to tell you that the client is not happy. So, oh, they were okay. Oh, I handled it. I solved it. What we have done, because again, this is where our field is, we are now monitoring the calls, and we are recording the calls and doing a sentiment analysis on it. Means that, was the customer happy? Was the customer sad? In terms of the engagement between the customer and your rep, did the rep seem confident? Did they know what they were talking about, or there were a lot of gaps? And I'm not waiting for you. So usually at the end of the day, the analysis gives me feedback that says that 50 calls came through, as an example. 2 were positive, 48 were negative. They were negative because the rep didn't seem to know what they were doing. I have just picked a tool because customer experience was a pain point for me. I have enabled that tool to be able to give me an objective data. And now I can use the data to determine other operational decisions or strategic decisions that I need to make. I
also see the financial bit in here. After deploying all of these technologies, you are saving money and time.
You're saving money and time because you are keeping yourself from losing a client. You have to send money again to go and bring in. So we have to look at the trade-offs. And again, they are not expensive. The WhatsApp agent is about 50 Ghana cedis or 100 Ghana cedis. I don't say between 50 to 100 Ghana cedis. Imagine spending 50 Ghana cedis to let you know that your client is happy or unhappy, or you're serving your customer on time or not on time. We probably should look at the budget.
You really paint a nice picture of how technology can help businesses turn around. But I want to find out from you what the barriers are. Sometimes people say businesses are resistant to change.
Yeah.
Is that really the case?
I think it's I don't think there are so much resistance in change as it is a lack of information.
Okay, so the literacy is not there.
Because I'm sure when I was talking to you, without me saying 50 Ghana cedis, you're thinking in my head, hey, no boy.
Oh, no, I didn't
I'm
say
sure
that.
in your head. So I think it's more of access to information. If you know that you can do all these things I talked about, and you didn't need to be an enterprise or a big organization to do that, 50 cities or 49 cities or 70, oh, but that one I can pay. But we think that it's expensive. So we go into every conversation with that bias. And before the person would land, you have already concluded that I can't afford. So that's the first thing.
The cost concerns may be genuine, but let's talk about, you spoke about the financial literacy and also the digital literacy. How do people, equip themselves with the skills in the space?
So there's something we observed in our process of providing technology solutions to businesses. We realized, especially when it came to financial tool management. So if I go to a customer and I was setting them up on the Kedeba Finance, I noticed that the clients were eager to use the tool, but sometimes they didn't have time or they didn't have the know-how. And the time and the know-how were competing interests. So what we did was we developed an approach called the hand-holding approach. So I see you are interested in it, but you don't know how to now and you don't have the time. The team in-house will do the entries for you. So they were always touching base with the client every day, doing the entries for them, giving them time to build internal capacity to be able to take it up for themselves. Most often what we do is we do the training, we give them the tool and we leave them. So the person wants to use, but the person is disadvantaged because they can't use it. They don't know how, or they don't even have a resource person who would handle it. So we need to be able to do this hand in hand. When you're buying a tool, one of the things you should look out for is, will there be support for you in the usage of the tool, or you would get the tool and you won't use it, not because you didn't have interest, but just circumstances did not afford you the opportunity to be able to use it.
Amazing. This has been great and wonderful. But Deborah, I want to really find out from you, if you look into the crystal ball, what will you say are the digital trends that are going to shape, small and medium-sized enterprises in the country, say, the next 5 years?
You know how you think AI is a human right? Internet is a human right right now. Right now, if you don't have internet, everyone shakes. I think AI is going to that place. It's no longer going to be a conversation about, oh, do you intend to use it? Are you going to use it? It's going to be like internet. You are either on it or you are not part of the conversation. One of the major trends that I see happening is going to be agents. So the agents, in a simple explanation, is a digital staff who is doing something for you. So I talked about the customer experience as an agent. You can have a finance agent. You can have an operations agent. This is a trend that I think that in the next 5 years is going to be so... People will take it for granted that it wasn't there in the beginning. The other thing I think would be happening now would be cross-border payments and engagement. These discussions are happening on after level, and we are looking at how best to move payment from a localized position to, an international cross-border one. I think in the next 5 years, it's going to be very simple and very easy to do this now. It might not seem so now because conversations are ongoing, but very soon businesses will now be opened up to serve customers cross-border, because you can receive payment and you can send payment. And this would benefit businesses who set up their digital foundation or infrastructure now. Because if you're going into a place where you're doing cross-border sales and inventory, and you've not even built the capacity to do digital stock management, you're going to lose out of that opportunity. So
amazing. It's going to be simple and easy. You see, that's Deborah Asmah, Chief Marketing and Operations Officer at Npontu Technologies. By the way, Npontu Technologies, who are you guys? What are you into?
So the way when you go to a doctor, they look at what is wrong, do lab tests, and prescribe what you have to do. This is what we do in the tech space. We are primarily an AI company. We help companies to analyze their data. But before we can help you do that, we need to make sure we have set up the right infrastructure, digital infrastructure for you to be able to do that. Because the analysis has to be done on the data, operational data we have collected. So what we do is, if we find you have need for any digital tool, we look at what your business is about and we set up the function that suits you. Then now, using that function, we analyze that data and help you take strategic decisions. So we have off-the-shelf tools like our ERPs that I mentioned, and it's modular for finance, customer experience, HR, etc. And we have our AI tools too, to help you be more optimized and more efficient.
All right, thank you very much. This has been another exciting edition of our honor series of the Citi Business Festival, which is powered by 97.3 Citi FM and Channel 1 Television in partnership with Absa Bank. Our sponsors are Absa Bank, MTN, Zonda Ghana Limited, and Petra Trust. I'm Ni Latte. Many thanks indeed for your company.